Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Muhammad Ashraf bin Roslan. I will present about part A of this group assignment. Part A consists of what I have summarized from the sample data given. So let's take a look at my observation in the form of numerical, tabular and graphical method. Here is the table of Pil-Lajak Kuruhidi. The table contains 200 samples of weight, relative density, tensile strength and shift. Shift are divided by 3, which is evening, morning and night. We go to the right table. As you can see, there are 4 tables in total. These 4 tables is represent numerical form. I created this table using pivot table. For the first row, I separate the shift, evening, morning and night, followed by count 200, sum of weight, sum of relative density and sum of tensile strength. The other 3 table is I list down all the value for average, standard deviation, variance, mean and max. The first table is for the weight, second is relative density, and the third table is for the tensile strength. All of the parameter here is I collected from the table. Next we go to the weight. First I separate weight data from the main table, then I do tabular form in this table using this table. The increment is by 10. I create the increment based on the mean and max of the weight. The count is same, which is 200. Here I add mean, median, mode, standard deviation and variance for the weight. On the below is the graphical form of the data for the weight. I created this graphical form using bar chart. Next we go to relative density. Same also, I separate the relative density data from the main table and I do the tabular form on this table using this table. The increment is by 1. The count is same, 200, and this is the median, mean, mode, standard deviation and variance. The graphical method is same as before, I using bar chart also. Next we go to the tensile strength, the last data. Same, so I separate the data from the main table for the tensile strength. Then I make a grouping. The increment is by 0.2. The count is still 200, no change, and mean, median, mode, standard deviation and variance. Here I using the bar chart also, because bar chart can show the data very clearly. That's all from to me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dini Imtiaz bin Zaruddin and I will continue this presentation for part B. Okay, so the question is, the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) authority requires that weight of standard tablet produced by manufacturer should be normally distributed with 350 mg with standard deviation 14 mg. Comment on whether there is significant evidence Lajak laku tablets produced in December 2020 regardless of shift do follow this distribution. So assume 5% level of significant apply goodness of fit test. So from the question we also can come out the hypothesis statement, which is HO, the weight of standard tablet produced by manufacturer follow normal distribution. So for the second one, H1, the weight of standard tablet produced by manufacturers does not follow normal distribution. And from the question, we also can get information that the mean is 350 mg and the standard deviation is 14 mg. Okay, from the data given, we have categorized the weight with the 5 range, which is the 310 to 320, we get 2, and 320 to 340 we get 42, and so on. So from the OI we get, we must to convert that to probability value. So we must to do the z-score formula at above the image. So z is equal to x which is the weight, minus by mean, which is 350, and we divide 14 for the standard deviation. So since EI we get less than 5, so we merge the cell 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 to get the only 3 label, 3 category. So, and we get the OI minus EI squared divided by EI, and we must to add the 3 value to get the X-squared test. Okay, so after we do the addition and the total X-squared test, we get 0.4402. So V is K, what is the formula? K minus P minus 1, which is K is 3 because we have merged that column. So we get 2, and X2 0.052, we know that 5.9915. So we must to reject HO if the X2 test is larger than X2, 0.052. So since our X2 test is less than X2 0.052, so we accept HO. So the conclusion we get from this is the data of lajat laku tablet E follow the normal distribution, which is X and 350 and 142. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I will continue with part C. The question is there any significant difference between tablet weight from the different shift? So we are using one-way method ANOVA in Microsoft Excel. So the first thing we need to do is we group the data from each shift, which is morning, evening and night. So for the hypothesis statement, we state that HO is there is no significant difference between tablet weight from the different shift at 5% level of significance, which is HO equal to mu1 equal to mu2 and equal to mu3. For the H1, there is significant difference between tablet weight from the different shift at 5% level of significance, which is H1 equal to mu I not equal to mu j for at least one I not equal to j. So by using the data analysis stored in Excel, we got the table below. For the table summary, we got the count, sum and average and variance. So from this data, we got the ANOVA table and we got the p-value. So for the decision root, we state that reject HO if p-value is smaller than alpha, which is 0.05. So since the p-value is equal to 0.236713, which is the p-value is greater than alpha, which is 0.05, the decision is we fail to reject HO, so that there is no significant difference between tablet weight from the different shift level at 5% level of significance.
Hi, I am Muhammad Badrun. I will continue my group presentation for part D. So for question D, we will discuss about the tablet's hardness. It can be explained by two variables, which is the relative density and the tensile strength. So relative density is an independent variable, while tensile strength is the dependent variable. Next, we have to perform a simple linear regression, and here is our result. From the result, we can see the estimated intercept is 0.2326 and the estimated slope is 0.0786. From here, we can get the regression equation, which is y equal to 0.02326 plus 0.07858x. So x here represent the relative density. The question asks to find the predicted tensile strength when the relative density is 68%, 74.3% and 81%. So we just substitute this value in x. So for 68%, the value for predicted tensile strength is 5.2667, and for 74.3%, the value is 5.8618, and for 80.1, the value is 6.3175. From the result, we can get the correlative coefficient, and that is 0.8444. The value is near to 1, the unity, so we can conclude that it forms a positive relationship between relative density and tensile strength. From this data, we can check for the confidence interval for the relative density. The 95% of the confidence interval is 0.07159 and 0.08556. By using hypothesis test, we can test significance of regression where relative density is different from 0. The F-test approach, H0 is relative density equal to 0 and H1 is the relative density beta not equal to 0. We will reject H0 if the p-value or significant F is less than alpha. So in this table, the alpha is 0.05. From this table too, we can see the significant F is 1.40953e negative 55. When we compare significant F with alpha, we can see that significant F is smaller than alpha, so H0 will be rejected. So this conclude that the data provide a strong evidence that the linear significantly exists between x and y. Next, we will see the normal probability plot. So here is our normal probability plot. And next, here is our relative density residual plot. As you can see here, all the residual plot is sketched around 0. So this indicates that the normal assumption is satisfied. Lastly, we see the relative density line fit plot. The blue dot is the tensile strength and the orange dot is the predicted tensile strength. As you can see here, the orange dot, which is the predicted tensile strength, is in linear. So it is the same with the hypothesis step that we discussed earlier. So that's all for me. Thank you.